First, let's send things over to Brianna Supardi, who's live in Oneida County. So, Bree, what can you tell us about today's guilty plea?
Lara, this marks a pivotal moment in a case that has drawn widespread attention and calls for systemic reform within our state's prison system. Christopher Walrath was one of 6 correction officers over at Marcy Correctional Facility charged with murder in the brutal beating death of Robert Brooks. That happened back in December, but today he's the first to accept a guilty plea. He pleaded guilty to the lesser crime of manslaughter in the first degree.
Mr. Walrath, how then do you plead to the second count, manslaughter in the first degree? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
With barely a word and no visible emotion, 36-year-old Christopher Walrath entered a guilty plea to first-degree manslaughter, admitting that he violently beat Robert Brooks, a handcuffed inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility, in December.
Did you put Robert Brooks in a chokehold against departmental policy and procedure?
Yes.
During that assault, did you strike Robert Brooks about his body?
Yes.
And did you intentionally strike him in his groin?
Yes.
Under the deal, he'll receive a 15-year sentence. If he had been convicted of second-degree murder, he could have faced life in prison.
Walrath was in the arsenal. He had nothing to do with the arrival of Mr. Brooks. He voluntarily got up from his post and joined in on the assaults.
Special Prosecutor William Fitzpatrick detailed how Brooks was assaulted in 3 different areas and how Walrath was part of it all.
There were 2 assaults immediately after he left the bus. A second assault at the arsenal, and that's when the chokehold took place. Then the third and final assault is the only assault that you have seen that's on the captured videotape.
Prosecutors say 3 other prison employees have reached plea deals, but Walrath was the first to formally accept a plea in the case.
I have to admit that the first thing I thought of was, well, Robert must have done something. He must have spit on them or disrespected them verbally or something. And the reality is he did nothing. It was a welcome to Marcy.
The 36-year-old was one of 6 officers charged with murder in February. Another 3 charged with manslaughter, and 1 faced a single charge of evidence tampering.
The character of the agency and those who participated in this murder and other murders are emblematic of maybe higher leadership, and we need to take a look at how we do prisons in New York State.
Sentencing for him is set for August 4th. Robert Brooks' family did attend this hearing, but they declined to speak with the media. And however, this case isn't the only prison beating death case going through this very courthouse right now. Last month, 10 other officers were charged in connection to the prison beating death of 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi. He died at Mid-State Correctional, located right across the street from Marcy Correctional, back in March. 2 of those 10 officers charged with murder. And these 2 incidents raising serious questions about a culture of abuse within New York's prison system. And that's where we turn things over to CBS 6's Nick Dabina, who's been digging into this issue. Nick, what do you got for us?